Obi-doo, it's everyone's favorite boomer and vintage lens enthusiast. Today, we're going to be looking at MAMIYA SEKOR 1 to 1.4 55 millimeters. It doesn't say where it's lens made in Japan. We're all good. All right. This is the last of my 1.4s. The rest were 50 millimeters. This is a 55 millimeter. I bought it because it was pretty cheap, and I wanted to see what a third banana company was doing at the time. It's vintage. It's an M42 mount. It's on the Nikon Z50. Today I woke up, it was like 15 degrees out, Fahrenheit, and I had some business to take care of. That is, go to the supermarket and then pick up some propane. And then I came home and I slapped this on, the camera, and I went to the park, of course. And you may say, oh, you go to the park and it's snowing? It was snow, and yeah, we've seen snow pictures, right? Well, I went there, and what was different is because we had some warmer weather and we had rain, and there's a lot of rain, and the creeks are flowing. I went down where the pyramid is, which is actually an iron furnace, but I call it the pyramid. And they have a stream that ran by, that they had a water wheel, and they must have had, had the stream for the water wheel, and there's still remnants of that there. And the water was still flowing. It didn't freeze over solid, but all the vines and sticker bushes that were next to the lake all had vapor deposited crystals on it, 3/8 of an inch long, and they're all glinty in the sunlight. So I stopped this bad boy down to f11 on a lot of pictures, and I snapped some at the closest focusing. What's the closest focusing? It's less than 0.5 meters. And then I took some faraway shots, some wide-angle views of it, and then I stomped around my usual walk, although I did a reverse part of it. And I seen a couple and their dog. I seen one other guy, and I seen some other people from further away. But I was pretty much on my own the whole time there. You know, magnificent desolation. It was so icily brilliant. The snow was all glinty with different colors of the snow crystals refracting the sunlight. So I thought it was pretty cool. However, the sun was strong, even though the wind was cold, and I didn't have to change my battery, although I did have a spare battery. And I did my whole. I was there for almost 2 hours because I would take a picture every 50 steps or something. And of course at f8, I shot almost everything in f8 except for some of the close-ups at f11 for depth of field purposes. And then of course this thing performs very well at f8, super sharp, high resolution. And then I went home. Now we're going to see in the slideshow following. I'm taking this off. Turn on my Ruski Geiger counter. Hey, look, it's in Russian or something. I don't know Russian, so I can't say what that means. Anything, except it's in English. All right. Danger. Oh, warning. 54. Jumped up to 54. Now, when I got this lens, and the glass was clear, so I never juiced it up at ultraviolet rays. So it's definitely radioactive, but maybe not as radioactive as others. I'm going to take it off for a minute. Now, was it juiced up a long time ago? At some point in the past? I can't say. There we go. Now, if you remember when I had the Super Takamar, I was getting weird readings with this on, so I had an air gap. 289. 310. Definitely not as radioactive as the other one. But like I said, once you give the ultraviolet treatment, they become more radioactive. I'm not a physicist, but that's a fact. In fact, I'm going to do an experiment with this one, where even though I don't have to give the ultraviolet treatment, I am, and I'm going to do a before and after. And it's staying around 300. All right, that's good enough. Let's shut this bad boy off. All right. Interesting gadgets to have. Now, if there happened to be an atomic war, these things are too sensitive, and they would just say everything is warning. You know, and you would have to get one of those heavy-duty ones that have different scales, so you could see exactly how radioactive things are. But let's hope we never have an atomic war. But Joe Burden, FJB, he's got a couple days left, and he may decide to destroy the world on his way out. Maybe he watched some Twilight Zone episode, and he's going to channel that. I don't know. So we'll have to find out. So, it's 15 degrees this morning. It's going to warm up to freezing, and then keep on warming up, and then rain and drizzle tonight, but then get cold enough so I may get ice on Saturday. This is a Friday. But it's supposed to get warmer on Saturday, so I may get some ice Saturday night. It's going to warm up, continue to rain off and on, but get warmer. Get warmer through Saturday night, and into Sunday, it's going to go from 15 degrees Fahrenheit to 55 degrees Fahrenheit, and then remain that way for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So, you know, global warming, hurrah. Maybe it'll melt some of the snow. So this is the way it stands. This thing was in excellent, like new condition. I couldn't find a lens hood to fit it perfectly. Oh, this one was pretty close. It wouldn't thread in, so I had to use electrician's tape to secure it. And I hate MacGyvering it, but what am I going to do? That's just the way it is. Now I'm going to go to a city while there's still Christmas holiday lights around, and I'm going to shoot this bad boy wide open at f1.4 and see what I get. Now this is a 24 megapixel chip, I believe, and suppose I was put it on, I happen to have the Nikon Z. Suppose I was put it on that. That is a full frame chip, but it's 24 megapixels. So what does that mean? Those 24 megapixels are spread out along a larger area. Maybe those pixels are bigger than these too. So to pack 24 megapixels into a crop sensor, well, the pixels are going to have to be smaller. And I want to see if this lens behaves the same on a full frame mirrorless camera with the same megapixels, but you know, the chip size in microns has to be bigger. I want to see if that has any effect on how it renders point lights at night. But that's a future video. I'm going to have to work on that. So the bottom dollar is, you know, if you want to get a cheap f1.4, here you are, the MAMIYA Seeker. There's one called the Auto MAMIYA Seeker, which is later. Oh, this is the Auto MAMIYA. This is the earlier one. The later one is called the SX or something like that. It has some other prefix, and that's for like a newer stuff. So this is the M42. You're going to need an adapter. F2, 2.8, 4, 5.6, 8, and 11. It works good. And at 1.4, when you need 1.4, you got 1.4. And it's only slightly bigger and slightly heavier than a regular 50mm f2. So you got to keep that in mind. So let's just jump into the slideshow and you decide. So I went to the park with the MAMIYA Seeker 55mm f1.4, stopped down to f8, and everything was encrusted with these ice crystals. Vapor deposition ice crystals. Wow. The air must have been super saturated, and as the temperature dropped, they all precipitated out as ice crystals. Now there is like 4 or 5 inches of snow, and we had a couple sunny days, and the snow did melt back some. There's large swaths that were still completely covered, like this lake, and the ice fishermen are out there, so the ice had to be really thick, at least 6 inches thick. And you could see the far-off hills. Look at the sparkly crystals in this snow. It was an amazing type of snow. And it enhanced the outlines of things like these ruins of brick walls from ancient times. How ancient? Maybe 200 years ago. Some people, their ruins are 2,000 years ago. So, but you got to take what you could get with ruins. It was some sort of iron smelting operation, and they built all these walls, and they channeled the water, and they chopped down all the trees, and now it's all just ruins. And here's the pyramid, which is the iron smelter. And someone tried to break in and steal the treasures, it looks like. Anyway, the stream is right by the pyramid, and all these brambles were covered with these crystals. Of course, the low angle of the sun was illuminating them. And look at that. That's amazing. Amazing. I was just like stunned by it. I've seen this happen before, and under certain conditions. This is maybe the fourth time I've seen this happen. This is one of the things. You live close to a park. It's only a 10-minute drive because I just pop over. And I got a big parking lot. And in the winter, there's no one there. I mean, it was like less than 18 degrees, or maybe it was 12 degrees. Who knows? But I only seen a couple of people. So I got in and out, took my pictures. And look, there's some sun flares. See that, like, bright spot along the top? That was sun flare. I was using a lens hood too. Look at these crystals. Unbelievable. Wow. I mean, this is the biggest I ever seen them. So, and the pyramid. It's funny, it was an industrial area, and now it's a state park. Oh, these crystals, they were like 12 millimeters long, some of them, a half an inch. A lot of them were like a quarter of an inch. Man, they were big. And they're all over everything. Amazing. I mean, this, you look here and look there, and everything was like covered. So the air had to be super saturated with water vapor. The temperature had to drop. There couldn't have been any breeze at all, because any breeze would have stopped the process right away. So it had to be deathly still. Wow, look at that. That's amazing. So I'm glad I had this lens with me. I'm not saying it's a great lens. It's definitely not a bad lens either. It was good enough for this on the Nikon Z50. And I didn't even have to swap out the battery. So there's that. Wow, look at those crystals. Amazing. Everything, everywhere. Well, along the creek, by the lake. See how the reeds got all smashed down. Here's some crunch berries with ice crystals on them. This looks like a skull of some animal or something. How do animals live in this horrible weather? I wish there's some way I could help them, but anyway, there's all sorts of shadows, all sorts of weird shapes in the snow, how it laid down. At 5.6, I focused on the leaves, and you can see the sparkly snow background. There's some structure there. It looks like the remnants of the Chimbley or something. I'll have to get there one day and scope it out, see what it's all about. Was this the remains of a dugout canoe or something? I don't know. Of course, all this ice is ephemeral. Even if you hit a cold snap where I live in the northeast of America, the mid-Atlantic states, even if you get like 2 weeks, all right, the ice lasts 2 weeks, then it warms up and it's all gone. And this maybe less than 10 days was this cold snap. Now all this ice and snow is gone. And this is how 2024, 2025 winter is turning out, is where it gets some brutal cold weather, maybe some snow, it sticks around for a while, then it warms up, it goes from like 12 degrees up to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So, you get this cold weather, you walk out, chemtrails are not real. Not at all, absolutely. So you get some cold weather, see this cool fantasy land, arabesques, and then boop, it's gone. If the only place that exists is in these pictures. These pictures are rare, a rare occasion. So any place has strange things happen every once in a while. The planet Earth is amazing like that. So I remember winters, last 3 weeks, 5 weeks, where you get brutal cold weather. So global warming, it's down to like 10 days or something. Yeah, I could live with that. See that rock up there? Did Sasquatch put that there? Did hunters put that there to use as a blind? Or did the glaciers come down from the north during the last ice age and just happen to drop it there on purpose? Who knows? Can't say. Well, all I could say is that the MAMIYA SEKOR 55mm f1.4 is a decent lens. At f8, it's just as good as anybody else's. Chemtrails are not real. Not at all. Nope. You're imagining it. And, I had great detail because look at these bee pictures, which are 1:1 crops, and they hold up really swell. And, you see I did far and near, and it's a good lens. And the next study, I'm going to do low light, see how it handles low light. But for now, it looks like if you pick one up cheap, go get one.